Animal Collective has always been this weird band for me to explain to people. Their music sounds to me like joy on acid, or maybe sunlight refracted through stained glass. You know, you get the picture. But sometimes when you press your ear closer, that joy starts to sound like something else. To me, it starts to sound like fear. Like a smile that's been stretched just a little too far. They come from the experimental side of indie music. Psychedelic textures, looping mantras, melodies that kind of sound like dreams dissolving in sunlight, if you will. And in 2009, they dropped Merriweather Post Pavilion. The album pushed them from cult favorites to something closer to a myth. The record is soaked in color, euphoric, hypnotic. Critics called it one of the greatest albums of the decade, and sitting right at its glowing center is My Girls. A song that sounded like love, sounded like family, it felt like warmth. But when you really sit with it, when you strip away the kaleidoscope and the reverb, you find something else. And it's not joy, it's not comfort. It's a man that's building a house to survive himself.
There isn't much that I feel I need, a solid soul and a heartbeat.
You hear that, and you might think, yeah, that's love, but I kind of hear something else, and it's not the start of a song. That's the start of a deal he's making. He's already laying his life on the table, offering his soul, his blood, just for the chance at peace. It's not just sacrifice, it's surrender, and he's listing what he wants. He's listing what he'll give up. We think he's here talking about a building, but the longer he speaks, the more it sounds like he's describing a mindset, a survival structure, a place to store his disappearing self. What even is a proper house? He never really describes it. He never tells us what's inside. No laughter, no fire, no windows, just proper. It's like he's reading from a script handed down by somebody else. It's not warmth he's after, it's control, containment, structure. He wants a box to put his love in, a place to lock it up before it turns into chaos. That line always hits like a defense mechanism to me. I don't care about the wave. You know, you say that when you're drowning in it, when you can't afford to chase what everyone else is chasing, so you redefine the game as something that's beneath you. But he's watching the wave, you can just feel it. It's on the edge of his voice, that resentment maybe. Or maybe it's nostalgia for a life that he could have had if he wasn't carrying around everyone else's weight. There's devotion, and then there's duty disguised as love. But this isn't just about protecting his family, it's about obeying a script carved into his bones. His father's grave is an altar, and he's laying himself down on it. You can almost hear the ghost whispering, "Don't complain, be a man, provide." But what does he get in return? He gets nothing, just silence, and the slow decay of self that comes when you become nothing more than a provider.
I just want 4 walls and adobe slats for my girls.
He keeps saying it over and over. It's kind of like a prayer or like a curse. 4 walls, adobe slabs. That's it. There's no joy, no adventure. It's just walls, slabs, stillness. This isn't a dream, it's a containment unit. He doesn't want a future at all, he wants a fortress. Because he's not building a home for his girls, he's building a barrier between them and the version of himself that's slipping away. Why does he keep justifying it? Like, why keep saying, "I don't care"? You don't repeat that line unless it hurts you to believe it. There's a deep, aching shame here, like he's used to wanting more. He used to imagine a bigger life, but now he's smothered that part of himself. He's killed it, because in his world, dreaming was betrayal. It loops again, over and over, like the cycle never ends. Fathers turning into ghosts, sons turning into workers, dreams turning into drywall and monthly payments. That line isn't loyalty, it's a warning. He tells you, this is what happens when you mistake sacrifice for salvation. Look, everyone calls My Girl's a love song. But honestly, I don't hear love anymore. I hear a man trying to convince himself that the life he's built was worth the cost. Trying to believe that the walls he's raised are enough to hold back the flood inside him. But if you listen long enough, if you really listen, you realize the house was never for them, it was for him. Because there's nothing more terrifying than being alone with your own unspoken needs. So he built these 4 walls. And he died inside them, quietly. And the scariest part? The house still stands. And there are millions of men just like him, still inside.